These could be the same reasons that I would sell anything, to be honest with you. Hey, 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 you already know who it is. How are you doing? How are you being? I certainly hope that all is well with you. I missed you. A couple of times I tried to record a video, but the time wasn't right. The time wasn't right, but the time is right now. So I am delighted to be here today to share with you what is going on with me and some exciting news, to be honest, okay? So let's get into it. You might be able to resonate with me, you might not. So no judgments here. Sometimes you just have to let some stuff go in your life, right? People, habits, beliefs. I got to the point where I realized that I needed to let some stuff go. And my beloved fabric collection has gotten in that number. I am going to be selling my fabric online, and I'm going to give you all the details and all the specifics. But I said, you know what, Terry, why sell it? Because there's a lot of stuff I could do. I could give it away. I could, give it away. You know what I'm saying? But why sell your fabric? And I came up with 3 main reasons, and I'm gonna share those with you. And I want you to let me know, do they resonate with you? For those of you who are where I am, right? Because I realize everyone's not. I'd be interested in knowing. So I have 3 main reasons that just kept playing over and over in my mind. The first reason is space. For many, many years, I sewed in a basement. I called it my sewing lab. Hello, it's Terry, Virginia's daughter, and I am back with round 8. But all of my fabric notions, everything fit into it, and it was quite a bit, quite amount of space. It was still a lot of stuff, but it was, quite a lot of space. And the thing about the sewing lab being in the basement was that it didn't interfere with my living space. And I realized I didn't always like going down there. I wasn't always motivated to sew in the basement, but that's what I did for years. Now though, I have an entire bedroom that's dedicated to a sewing space, and it is a disruption now. I only have 2 bedrooms, right? And so one of them is like a sewing space. And sometimes I walk in this room and I imagine what the space could be without all the extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? And what I've come to realize is having too much of anything can cloud your focus. And now for the biggest disappointment, my kimono. It can even cloud your creativity. Too many ideas fighting for your attention. A perfect example is my unfinished projects collection. In January of 2021, I released my first video in my unfinished projects sewing plan series. Hello, it's Terry, Virginia's daughter, and I am back with another video today. Today's video, I'm going to talk about my unfinished projects. Now, fighting for too many ideas wasn't the only reason that I got to that many projects that were unfinished, but I would see something somewhere and be inspired and be like, oh, I want to make that, when I'm already working on something. And I already had what I needed. I had the fabric I needed, I had the pattern, I had everything. I didn't have to go anywhere to get anything. Everything I needed was right at my disposal. So it made it easy for me to stop one project and start another. Now, like I said, there's more reasons that happened, but I'm talking about that one at the moment. Having too much oftentimes can work against you. I will never forget. One day I was on the elliptical, right? In that same basement on the other side of the sewing space, in total silence. And I know it was divine revelation, but it hit me like, what are you going to do with those unfinished projects? At first I thought that meant I had to finish them all. What else is there to do but finish them? Like, throwing them away was never in my mind, right? So that's how I started. So I would take 7 projects. Each round had 7 projects. I would complete them. I think I got up to round 8 or round 9, something like that. Once I had worked on that for a while and moved my way through that, then it occurred to me that my patterns were out of control. So what did I do? I did a pattern purge. I went through my entire pattern collection and I put each pattern in one of 4 categories. It was either keep it, trash it, sell it, or donate it. And so, at that time I had gotten through all the patterns that I had. So that unfinished project situation, it was like a springboard for me to really take inventory and look around, right? And so I knew it was just a matter of time until I got to the fabric. It opened my eyes in a way that I hadn't thought about things before. I was just collecting, buying. But at one point it's like, well, You can't do this forever. And all of those things were therapeutic for me. It reminded me of some of the stories surrounding some of those items. And it was good. It was good for me. I was glad that I did that. Number 2 is family and legacy. I've got 3 grown sons, right, with their own busy lives. And one day I realized, it hit me. I'm like, when I die, what are they going to do with all this stuff? That would be a complete burden on them and irresponsible of me to leave all this stuff behind for them to take care of. I mean, I created it, right? So I should be the one to take care of it. Anything I leave behind, I want to be meaningful, not a big mess for them to clean up. And I know they're not going to have the same sentiment or appreciation for my stuff that I do, and I really don't expect them to. Now, my youngest son, he'd find a way to sell it, not piece by piece. You can have all this stuff for X amount of dollars and have a nice day. And he would share it with his brothers too, right? But I would rather do that myself, because then I can enjoy the money, right? I can enjoy the effort. I can have fun doing it. So I'm like, yeah, I'll sell it. I can turn this beautiful collection into something that honors my life. You know what I mean? Where I've been, where I'm going. Something that might even bless someone else's creative path, right? Now that's alignment. That right there is alignment. So I had to ask myself, you know what, Terry, what if you weren't ready to depart with this stuff, right? What about your family then? And I thought, it would be a good idea to, I don't know, leave instructions in your will, or tell your family what it is that you want, put something in writing, or just let them know so that, it will make it easy on them when you're gone and free up your spirit. I've come to the conclusion that if you create something that creates a problem, you also have to create a solution. And the third reason is to create currency, right? And this is exciting for me because I've always realized that my collection is valuable. And since I'm not using it, I may as well sell it. And we have a responsibility to value what we have, to be good stewards over that stuff. Now, one thing I realized, money is currency. But what I recently came to realize, and I don't mind saying recently, okay, because you don't know what you don't know until you do know. Currency means flow. It means movement, circulation. Think about when you hear the word electrical current, like what's flowing? Electricity, right? When you hear about ocean currents, what's moving? Water, right? It's the same with money. Money is designed to move, to flow, to circulate. Oh my goodness. When I caught on to that, I was like, okay. And the beautiful thing is we have the power to create currency for ourselves, and not just money, but, meaning, right? And impact. Sorry about that. My camera cut off. It got happy too. But when I thought about that, I'm like, yeah, it's my responsibility to create currency in my life, for myself, for my family. When I started looking through my fabric and my collection of things through that lens, I started seeing things differently. I can be very creative about how I part with this fabric. Somebody else could be blessed by this stuff. I'd be blessed, they'd be blessed, will become part of their story, right? And so I'm just excited about this project. Those are my 3 reasons that I decided I needed to part ways with my fabric collection. So for me, this whole process of going through fabric and, deciding what I want to keep, what I'm going to sell, because I did maintain a small portion for myself because I'm still sewing. I made this, by the way, this jumpsuit. And I just happen to have the pattern right here. This is Simplicity 9544 and it is view C. So I think I made this back in June or something like that. Having said that, my personal fabric collection officially goes on sale December 5th. I am so excited. December 5th has a significant meaning, but I won't go into that in this video. The name of the site is Curated Fabrics, and it's not just, your regular old site. It's a way for me to honor what I've loved. So here's what I want you to do. Go to curatedfabrics.shop and drop in your email address. That way you'll get updates, you'll get notices, announcements, special invites. Prior to the launch, I'm going to have 3 private showings via Zoom. The email address that you send me, I will be able to send you the Zoom links so that you can access that Zoom call. And also, I'm going to give you an opportunity to shop. So the people in my community will have early access shopping. Prior to the launch, I will give you a password and you can go in and shop before anybody else, before the site goes live to the public. And I wanted to do that for you because you my people. And even if you don't want to shop, you my people. Go in, look around, you have early access. So whether you shop or not, I hope you take advantage of that. I cannot tell you how excited, nervous, slightly fearful, not to the point of paralyzation, but it's a real feeling. I can't tell you how excited I am. And more importantly, how excited I am to share it with you. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about selling fabric? Or do you have any fabric that you want to sell? Or, it doesn't have to be a whole collection. Any thoughts about this video? Anything that came up for you? I would love to hear it in the comments. So I will put all of the information in the description box. May your space and your spirit always be open for what's next. Until next time, take care.